Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Criteria of disqualification of some of the candidates and how some candidates actually made it on the list, on the nomination list at the last minute. A number of other questions are rising, especially on the kind of election that Ugandans are braced for. Could it be a fierce election or just another election, more of the same? And could it also turn out to be a two-horse race pitting President Museveni, who is making it for the 7th term, against Robert Kyagulanyi, who made a dramatic second comeback? And what does this second comeback portend for the campaigns? We'll also be asking what other candidates mean to this election. Welcome. I'm joined tonight by Honorable Salaam Musumba from the PFF that never fielded a candidate. We'll also be speaking to Honorable Chris Baryomunsi, the Minister for Information and National Guidance, plus the man who you would say is in the kitchen, Honorable Norbert Mao, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and the President General of the Democratic Party, who chose to support President Museveni in the 2026 bid. Welcome and a very good evening.
Thank you very much.
Well, Honorable Mao, we are getting into another election without the electoral reforms that you hyped when you were joining government. How unfortunate is it?
I've had a lot of complaints about electoral reforms, and to the best of my knowledge, it is not just about electoral reforms. I think we should broaden your question. The question is, how can we improve the quality of our democracy? And that is not just about elections. It is also about the political culture.
Are you changing your tone? Initially, you're hyping electoral reforms.
I believe in electoral reforms, but I'm just trying to contextualize what I think matters most. For instance, if we do not change our political culture, where we respect each other, where we accept that we can agree and even agree to disagree, no matter the electoral reforms. So the problems of our elections is not so much about the laws. The laws are largely okay. In fact, our fundamental proposal as the Democratic Party has been to change the electoral system, and our proposals are on the table. I'm not a dictator. I don't run the government alone. I am not the only person involved in this, and the media likes making it appear as if I have a switch in my office and I can switch on electoral reforms or I can switch it off. The executive in which I sit has a head, and he has all the proposals that are needed.
You said the executive lacked appetite for reforms.
If the executive had the appetite for the proposals we made, remember the proposals we made about changing the voting system were put on the back burner by none other than the president himself, namely proportional representation, which would solve actually our biggest problem, a bloated parliament which is outsized and where some votes are rendered irrelevant. If you can have members of parliament who are sworn in with less than 30% of the vote just because there are many candidates in the field, to me, those are important reforms, and I'll continue advocating for them. So what I do is not called hyping. It is called advocating, but I need the support of other people in the government.
For now, do you feel a sense of frustration that what you pushed for has not come to fruition at least sanitize the 2026 elections?
If the likes of you had been solidly behind me, instead of spending a lot of time abusing me, I think even the government would have been persuaded. But if you you spend all the time talking as if my efforts are not useful. Then you also weaken my arm inside the government.
Okay, generally speaking, did you promise Ugandans hot air? These are what the things you promised: getting the prisoners, political prisoners out, instituting electoral reforms, kickstarting a debate on transition. Nothing has come to pass.
Kagwanjala, you are notorious for putting words in people's mouth. As you notice, the issue of prisoners could never have been the number one thing. I generally talk about human rights. Namely, we have gotten the mentally ill people who are in jail. The vast majority is out. We did that. Number two, for the so-called political prisoners, we started pushing for them to be released even before I became a minister. You remember the iPod summit where we sat in Kololo after the 2021 elections, and many more are being released. We believe that if the state has a case, then they should go and quickly prove it in the court. So it cannot be that a minister of justice can promise to free prisoners.
You promised more than what you could deliver.
The promises are by two parties, as you know. Because when you have an agreement, you make a promise. And in that promise, you work towards it. But I'm very proud to be the person who has sparked a debate about 4 fundamental issues, namely national dialogue, national reconciliation, constitutional reforms, and transition. That's basically what everybody is talking about in broad terms. And that's by setting an agenda, you feel a sense that you are mobilizing. But I wish I was not preaching to people who are deliberately deaf. They hear, but they don't want to appreciate. But I will not give up, because
who are you referring to?
The likes of you.
Or the government you're serving?
I think it is mainly the people who know that these are good ideas. If you mix up the message and the messenger, you lose up on a good thing.
Very interesting. I'll hold you there. We need to engage Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, the Prime Minister, who is also speaking to us. Thank you for joining us on the front line tonight, Honorable. And well, you're all charged to get President Museveni clinch a 7th term as president. What are you presenting to the country? What kind of candidate, and what is the promise?
Yes, as I know, you know, I derive my powers from Article 108 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. As a leader of government business in Parliament, and you know that I head the implementation of government programs, projects across the country. But before that, allow me to bring you warm greetings from His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda. The President of the Republic of Uganda wishes you all prosperity. I join all Ugandans to congratulate him for being nominated as our NRM presidential candidate for yet another term. You talked of 7th. That is 2026-2031. And I thank thousands of Ugandans who attended our nomination rally at Kororo on Tuesday, 23rd September 2025. As you are aware, that big crowd that you saw came from different parts of Uganda. And to me, that's a signal that NRM continues to enjoy majority support across this country. And this is because of a number of things. One, peace and security. The NRM has established and maintained peace and security across the country. You cannot talk about development, democracy, and many other things without peace and security. Kagwanjala, isn't that so? To me, that's a plus and a tick to NRM. Road infrastructure, the entire country is now interconnected by tarmac roads, and to me, the stock of tarmac roads has increased, and everybody is aware that it has increased to 6,199 kilometers from 114 kilometers, which were in a fair state when NRM took power in 1986. This is not a mean achievement. And of course, you are aware that all districts across the country have a road unit, and we support them with 1 billion Uganda shillings to work on their roads. Under the health services, Uganda's life expectancy has increased, I know you are aware, to 68 years from 43 years in 1998. This has been made possible because of a number of things. Basically, significant investments in the health sector. The health services, you are aware of mass immunization programs, increased education levels, better housing conditions, better road network, like I've already told you, increased the preventive health care services. People know how to behave. They know how to do exercise. Currently, 91% of Ugandans live within a radius of 5 kilometers to a health facility. Today I was in Kayunga, and in Kayunga district, every sub-county has a health center 3. Every constituency in Kayunga has a health center 4. By the way, in Kayunga, they have a regional hospital. That's why this afternoon I told you that a regional hospital which has an oxygen plant. One of our younger people the other day asked the president whether that facility is working. I was there today. The plant is functional. In fact, they are serving the whole region. The literacy level in Uganda is now at 74%, according to the 2024 National Housing Census, compared to 43% in 1986. Infant mortality, let me talk about the children who die before the age of 5. The infant death has declined to 36%, or 36 per 1,000 live births, from 88 deaths per 1,000 births in 2000, according to the 2022 demographic health survey. I want to talk about poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ugandans, poverty levels in Uganda have declined to 16.1%, that is in 2024, from 20.3% in 2019, according to 2024 National Housing Survey. Let me talk about power generation. We are generating 2,065 megawatts of power. This is up from 6 megawatts in 1986. Under the education sector, since the introduction of UPE, you are aware, the number of pupils in government-aided primary schools has increased from 3 million to 8,824,923,000 pupils now. And over the years, the NRM has laid a very big foundation. Our focus, like you have asked me, for the next 5 years and beyond, because you know NRM is going beyond 2031. We intend to expand the size of our economy threefold, from the current 63 billion US dollars to 500 billion US dollars by 2040. And this is possible because we are focusing on agro-industrialization. With PDM in place, you know we have given people support. We know we now need agro-industrialization so that we can add value to the products that are coming from by the producers we have under PDM and other producers. We are talking about tourism development. We have mineral-based industrial development, which we are focusing on, science, technology, innovation, and this will help us to ease the cost of doing business. We will continue to maintain the existing road infrastructure or road network, and we shall also build new ones, as you are aware. We need to construct our standard gauge railway this time round. I know the president will unveil the new manifesto going forward. We shall have increased access to the continental and regional markets. That's our focus. We need to skill our youth, and we shall definitely do more. Under the Ministry of Health, we need to complete the construction of all the health center 3s. For example, Mukono has 38 health center, has 38 health facilities. But out of the 36, 13 are health center 3s and 2 are health center 4s, with that district hospital which is over congested. I believe if we upgrade all the health center 3s in Mukono, we shall serve our population better. And the Ministry of Agriculture, we want to mechanize. We want to mechanize and, of course, do irrigation so that we can produce throughout the year and many other things. I know my boss will talk about many things on 29th. Thank you so much.
How
Hello.
do you feel that in 2025 we have an all-male race without a woman? You are being propped by the affirmative action, and there is no female presidential candidate.
That this time round, maybe it was not possible for our fellow women because of a number of things. One, it required the people to have networks across the country. Maybe my sisters did not have that to get the required nominators, maybe seconders, 100 per district. From across 96 districts, maybe it was not possible for them. Maybe next time.
Honorable Robert Chagulanyi, Bobby Wine, is returning to the fray. Are you looking at a showdown with him?
Not a big threat. Yes, he's not. We don't look at him as a threat, as NRM. We don't look at him as a threat. That's all I can say.
Who among the candidates do you think is going to give you a run for your money?
See, all of them who are there have tested before. I don't think we have any. For us, we are going to focus on service delivery. We are not going to focus on those people. Let them come and try their luck. But I think some of them are coming to be seen, to be known, to like that. And that is democracy that was brought by NRM. We appreciate they are coming on board. Let them come and test. You know, Mzee is not also somebody you can just ignore. The president has got support across the country. That's why NRM has got 350 plus members of parliament as compared to these other parties. That shows you that NRM is still very strong. We already have a number of LC5 chairpersons who have gone through unopposed, and a number of district councillors who have gone through unopposed. That's a signal.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Robin Anabanja, for accepting to speak to us and share the vision of the NRM as you head into yet another race. Good to have you, Honourable Salaam, and a very good evening, Honourable Bariomusi. Well, Honourable Salaam, I'll come to you. What's your observation of the 2 days of nominations and how the entire process has kicked off?
Thank you very much. It's really nice to hear from the Prime Minister and the stale narrative of where we are at. Actually, to me, it's sounding like the same old template of recycled.
Do statistics lie?
Recycled statistics. I would really want to take time to read out for her the statistics of Busoga, what it speaks about what she's saying. And I'm sure that it's the same statistics in Kakumiro. But back to the 2 days, pageantry and fanfare that we were all treated to in the last 2 days. The meaning, the farce, the optics, and the real outcome of it, none of them really measures up to the Article number 1 of the Constitution, that all power belongs to the people.
I thought you'd give it to Electoral Commission, that they pulled it off, got 8 candidates.
Come on. An Electoral Commission that has existed this far could only take us to a good shed in their so-called new office and parade people that have signed up to be the number 1 citizen of the country. I do believe that we have, as a country, lost the gist of democracy, the gist of it. Look at how much time we have given ourselves to go through it. 2 days. We've had a whole year of roadmaps that are changing every day, that we should push people and squeeze them into a corridor of 2 days. It's not right, it's just wrong. Because the people of Uganda have had all this time waiting for the Electoral Commission to provide the space and the latitude for us to walk into a process that we only experience once in 5 years. And they want to conclude it like an ambush. It's like a rape, a political rape, for 2 days. I mean, apart from it being...
Yeah, but look at how meticulous they were, to the extent of scrutinizing all the names on the nomination lists.
This is a digital world. It's a digital world. They don't need to take us through that mechanics. It's a digital world. A QR code or a scan would have done us better. Because the technology they are talking about, which we've talked about also on this panel, about the technology we should be deploying now. If I have a registered party that has gone around the country and collected the right signatures to have me registered, why else would my candidate require 100 signatures? To do what? I'm already a party. I'm already a party and I'm sponsoring a candidate. And so this hullabaloo about this, about that, should have remained in the movement system, not in the party system. And so they are loading it on individuals. People are being presented as individuals to the Electoral Commission. And yet they are parties. They are parties. And they should be treated as such. So it should be maybe independence that should be subjected to that.
Okay, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
there are 8 candidates. Do you have a forecast of what kind of race it's going to be?
No, I can't forecast. It's going to be a competition that is already tilted in favor of one, not all. There's no fair ground for them. And it's because we waste energy and time and analysis on the petty things that you want me to concentrate on, not in the depth of democracy that we should be providing to the people of Uganda. This residual thing that you present to us and you want us to accept as the thing in 2025 is just wrong. I would like us to take time to analyze and to be able to help this country to advance. Don't allow us to deal with residual processes. Tell me, why would it be, I think, to take our time that they are handing over a car, not even a car, but a pickup, that there is a ceremony about a pickup thing. As part, you see, we've been diverted. What is a pickup in an electoral process that you have spent time for? Then you have this little gift bag called an electoral, the register. And that too is an issue. Guys, this is something you send by post.
Okay, you want to say the optics didn't matter?
The optics were so base, they were so village-ish, that they were not worth the TV breath you gave them.
Honorable Bariomusi, how, in your analysis, has the process started off? Nominations are done. It was quite frenzied. We're now getting into the real depth.
I want to congratulate the Electoral Commission. I think they have done their best. I want to disagree with my sister. The Electoral Commission is a public institution, and it also has to account to the public because they use public resources. So if they have procured vehicles to carry security personnel who will protect our candidates, the public must know.
Are they going to war?
If you provide the candidates with the register,
Yeah,
we,
that
the
you send through the post.
We, the supporters of the various candidates, should know. So they are being transparent and showing the public what they are offering. So I would have no problem with the Electoral Commission. And the reason, I think, why they put guidelines to procure signatures to a particular number, magnitude, is to demonstrate that you are a serious candidate, not these frivolous time wasters. And indeed, that's why close 30 people, I think, had tried to get signatures, but they filtered out to 8, those who were able to get the signatures required. So
There's even contention on the filtering process. How the likes of Munyagwa made it at the last minute.
Yeah, why
how
would you?
the Elton Mabilis were able to raise the signatures.
Why would you doubt them if the Electoral Commission has said they have the required number of signatures and we have verified the signatures are authentic? We take it like that.
Why would you buy the narrative of the Electoral Commission that did not even allow agents to be part of the process of scrutinizing and looking at the registers?
I don't want to believe that the Electoral Commission would be against anybody. And I don't think those they cleared are the relatives of members of the Electoral Commission. So this is a public institution. We have entrusted it with a responsibility, and we hope they do a very good job. So if they have said so and so has not been able to secure the required number of signatures, we believe so, unless the aspirant himself challenges the Electoral Commission and brings evidence and uses evidence that no, you are misleading the public, I have the required number.
Was
So,
that opportunity provided to them?
yes,
No,
sure, they can
was.
still challenge the decision of the Electoral Commission if they have the evidence. So to me,
What?
come again?
Some of the aspirants were kicked out at the last minute.
For what
They still
reason?
had hope that the Electoral Commission would consider.
Would get back to them.
Yes, would get back to them until the last minute.
But I'm sure the Electoral Commission must have given them the reasons why they cannot get
They
nominated.
did not.
Maybe you should call those candidates to come here. When you say they did not,
Okay.
are you one of them?
In your
They must
opinion-
have been told, because if you are vying to be nominated, and the Electoral Commission says no, they must have given them reasons why and what they have failed to fulfill.
In India,
Yes.
nomination is done.
Yes.
We saw it's now a race for crowds. President Museveni had a massive rally at Kololo. So did Robert Chagulanyi in Natete.
Yes.
Does it give indicators of what kind of race it's going to be?
Well, it's not the first time we are having this kind of contest. So it will be like it has been. It's a contest of 8 candidates. And what we call for is calmness, is discipline amongst the candidates, their agents and supporters, so that we have a quiet or calm electoral exercise without violence. I am sure the candidates will be enabled to traverse the country, to be able to engage with the voters like they have done in their post-nomination rallies, to be able to sell their manifestos.
You've
And
participated in a number of elections.
Yes.
Do you want to look at this as more of the same, or this is a bit unique? Chagulanyi has made a comeback. We have newcomers. The rest are new. Okay, save for Mabirizi. All the rest are newcomers.
And Honorable Mugisha Muntu, I think,
Yes,
has
and
been
Mugisha
a kid.
Muntu, yes.
It's okay. It's okay for democracy. You know, NRM believes in democracy. When you look at the 4 ideological pillars of NRM, democracy is number 4, where any Ugandan who feels and believes he has the required qualifications for a particular position, in this case, the president should be able to offer himself, and if ultimately it is the Ugandans who make a decision.
Thank you.
So, maybe the difference with this campaign is that last time we did these campaigns under COVID, where there were restrictions, candidates were not allowed to have multitudes of voters coming together, were limited to few people. But
So
this
it's
time,
not as exciting, it's business as usual.
no, it will be exciting. Elections are always exciting, but the difference between this and the last one, 2021, was we had COVID, and now COVID is not there.
Honorable Norbert Mao, are Ugandans missing the real ball in this election? You initially hinted on it in one of your commentaries. There is a video that's trending of you saying, don't look at this as a mere election. There is a transition talk going on behind the scenes. Could you substantiate on this?
My job was to let Ugandans know that an election is about a choice, and we should not complicate the choices. I do not think we have 8 choices. I basically think we have 2 choices. And it is as simple as that. The world is very funny in the sense that it likes polarities, and it is always one or the other. Even in marketing, let's start with TV. You have NBS, you have NTV. You go to soft drinks, you have Pepsi, you have Coca-Cola. Now, whether you are Kiri soda, whether you are Reham, it is a struggle. So in terms of market leadership, I think it is the group whose leader is President Museveni, that's NRM. And then on the opposite side, you have got the NUP of Robert Kyagulanyi.
NRM on one side, bolstered by DP.
I've said that you have two. In the video you are referring to, I talked about groups that are galvanizing around the NRM. And I was quite explicit. I don't know why anyone would still want it to be elaborated further.
Yeah, but one of the groups came out and disowned you. They actually found it quite rude of you to mention them in that block, and that's the Democratic Front of Honorable Mpuuga.
I think I will reserve my comments on that for now.
No. You might need to listen to Honorable Mpuuga. We have his soundbite.
I listened to him, but the question you asked me was about the choices, and I'm telling you that you have got two blocks because voters don't want complicated choices also. Even in the, sometimes you can have third-party forces, even in countries like Germany. You have got the SPD, the Social Democratic Party, then you have the Christian Democrats. The Christian Democrats and the Christian Social Union of Bavaria, they are sister parties, and the Christian Democrats don't field candidates in Bavaria because they are a bloc. But when there is a third-party threat, like the ultra-right-wing AfD, Alternative for Germany, then you find that the two major parties, in the interest of the nation, they create what they call a grand coalition. These are parties that are actually on opposite sides of the ideological spectrum.
Yeah, but aren't you being wishful in trying to bundle groups that are very unwilling to coalesce with the president with you?
Let me just say that I know what I'm talking about. I am not as reckless as you think. I don't just talk anyhow. But in general terms, I called that group the group that believes in constructive engagement. And despite the denials, everything they say is in favor of constructive engagement. And I know that whatever posturing they can do, maybe they don't want to be seen yet. It is okay. You know why in Luganda they have what they call okwanjula. Okwanjula means you now announce your intentions. But before then, you have room to deny. So let us give a break to those who have room to deny. But for purpose of 2026 elections, Ugandans have a duty to see that you have got the person of President Museveni. No matter what you think of him, he is the pivotal factor and the prime mover of shaping the future.
You have initially been counted among the people who would appear on the ballot paper until the last minute when you announced that.
We are actually not talking about me. Kagwa, you do a disservice to your viewers if you let this debate be about Norbert Mao. It can't be about Norbert Mao.
You are the helm of a political party.
No, but we are talking about Uganda. If I dropped dead tomorrow, would the 2026 elections change direction in any way? I think what should matter is that whoever has a candidate and whoever has formed a political party, they have some key convictions that they have a duty to explain to Ugandans. You don't form a party unless you feel that the parties that exist don't serve your interests. And you don't ally with any other party unless you feel that you share some common ground. It doesn't have to be 100%.
Is DP formally supporting President Museveni for 2026?
In my statement, I said that a party makes decision through its organs. That date will come when the appropriate organ of the party can pronounce itself.
But for now, there is DP persons who are openly supporting President Museveni.
When one of your journalists came to me, I said I would back President Museveni. I was explicit. And then I said the party position is determined by an organ of the party. Because a party has a constitution. It is as simple as that.
Before I get to Honorable Salaam Musumba, you said this would be the quietest election ever. Are you sending signals of brutality, or what kind of message are you delivering?
We have got to know that disorder generally is not good for anything. You can even be loud and orderly. The way people are in Nambole, they are extremely loud but disorderly. Now, when I explained that I chose my words very deliberately, you need low noise so that people can listen to what the election is about. Now, for you to impute issues of brutality, I don't like to brutalize anybody, neither would I want to be brutalized.
No, but what kind of signal are you sending to the nation?
I think we should be very clear that disorder should not be accepted. As you know, I started my politics as a student leader. We used to have protests, even up to one day. We would demonstrate. But now, the protests are accompanied with disorderly conduct and even theft. That's why when there are demonstrations from the universities, shop owners just shut up their shops because of that. There's a difference between exhibiting or showing your emotions, but it's important.
You're going to crush dissent.
Those are your own words. Those are journalistic tricks of asking leading questions. Why would Norbert Mao want to crush dissent? Isn't there dissent here? I have things I dissent about, and I don't want to be crushed. I want to be heard. I want to debate. And if my view is not yet in the majority, I continue dissenting until my views are in the majority. You remember me in the peace talks in the North, advocating for peace talks and being in the minority in the parliament. You continue dissenting while you hope that you'll galvanize
We'll take a very
number.
short break, and when we return, Honorable Salaam Musumba will be running us through the signals that she sees and what this election means